All right, today we coming to you with another episode of Auto Glass Tech Talk. We taking it out to the 5th largest city in the United States. I don't know if people knew that, but it is the 5th largest city in the United States. Taking it out to Phoenix. We got our man Mike Stevens with us, and you made some big changes recently. So tell us a little bit more on what's going on with it.
Good morning, everyone from Arizona. So about a year ago, I went and came over to Skia. I hung it up. I sold off my business technically, and decided to make a leap over here. Got reached out by or Mark O'Brien reached out to me, and we started working together actually when they were testing for that new XV product. So after a generous referral from Mr. Jeff Wacker, shout out to Jeff, appreciate it. He referred Mark over to me. We started hanging out, chit-chatting. He rode along with me a couple times when I was testing out that XV30. The Mach 30 XV. And we just started a relationship, man. We hit it off, basically. And it's history after that. So came over here, and it's been great ever since, man. Just slowly, learning a little bit every day, because sales, I didn't think sales was part of my tool belt. But
right.
Actually, talking to Mark, he convinced me that, look, every day when you're out there on the road, if you go see a fleet of vehicles at a landscape company, what are you going to do? You drive in there and go say hello. That's sales. That's cold call, going in and introduce yourself and building relationships. He said, so you're already doing it, just let's expand on it. So it's been a cool journey so far, man. I'm excited.
Well, that's what's up, man. Congrats on that. Congrats on the position, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you think that the fact that you are working basically in an area you were already friendly with so many people already?
The footprint I had before, I guess, in being a tech, the position I'm at now is pretty much what I was doing before, but now I'm just representing Skia instead of my own company, just with being helpful. I mean, all four of us do it online. Guys got questions, we try to give them a serious answer, and my phone's the same way. I know Jeff and Chris, you guys are the same way too. Your phone's blown up all day with text calling, local text too. Well, maybe not so much Chris now, but I know that Jeff and I both were answering phones all day with guys with simple questions, and like we were just talking about earlier, before recording that, we don't have to help. The old schoolers didn't help us, so but
right.
That's how we get to pay it forward, just by helping out someone with a silly question, and we have a silly answer for them, so
yeah.
So yeah, actually getting to know or knowing people in the area and already networking has been great, because there's guys that have moved up along with us, that are now
management positions or
something. Yeah, they're the ones making the decisions now.
Right. And so it's definitely been beneficial. And in the areas that I don't know, not too many people, like New Mexico and El Paso, I'm growing with them, and it's been good so far, And then what's also nice is that social media is kind of like a resume for us.
Right.
See what we did in the past, and where we come from. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Knowledge is power, and it's good that you're giving it back, like you say, paying it forward, having that, mentality of I'm gonna help others, because if others know better, they do better. So, shout out to you for that, because a lot of people don't give knowledge, or they give some, but every day, I see online you out in all the groups coming and helping people. So, that's a good trait to have, man, to help people. And talking about that, I know y'all do training, like Skia training. So has it been really helpful that, you came from doing replacements, repairs to doing and putting on Skia trainers? Does that help a lot?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, these guys, usually in my training, I'll kind of do a little background. If I don't know them or they don't know me, I do a little background about myself. And you can just see their eyes change. They're like, I'm not a typical sales guy who has never touched a windshield or cleaned anything or installed a thing. You know what I mean? They see it right away. You talk shop with them right away, and you guys know, if we can you can smell them a mile away.
I mean, I'm sure with your years of experience installing, I mean, you're just recently off the road too. It's not like, there's a lot of other reps who have installed, but it was like 20 years ago. and they only installed for a year or two. So it wasn't like they installed forever,
Yeah.
and I mean, and locally everybody knew, your resume speaks for itself. I mean, locally. So, I mean, I'm sure that helps people, trust what you say when you say something's good.
Yeah, I gained respect, pretty quick as long as they know, if they know me. But otherwise, if they don't know me, then all I gotta do, we gotta talk for 5 minutes and they know I know what I'm talking about. So with training, yeah, I mean it's been good too, because I learned stuff too, man. There was some things I'm like, oh, shoot, maybe I should have been paying a little more attention in this area or whatever. So it's opened my eyes a lot. And then I realized that shit, I did it for 25 years. And if I'm barely waking up to something that's specific in our training, then imagine anyone else who's been out there doing it and they've been skipping the step or whatever. It doesn't understand, like, now how windshields are way dirtier than they ever were, So
Yeah.
to decontaminate and do all your process, add a step by, abrading, that's huge, and I wasn't doing that, 10 years ago, and I should have been probably now, so.
Right.
Yeah, but as far as, being able to train guys and it just expand on what they already know. If they take one thing away after I'm done, then I've done my job,
That's
so.
right, man. Yeah, all you can do is get the information. What they do with it from there, that's on them, But shout out to you for giving that information. Do y'all have any upcoming trainings, or you like how does the training stuff work? If one wanted to know more information on Secret product or get training, how does that work out?
I'm working on right now in my area to team up with some of the distributors to do some after hours, before hours, or whatever's kind of good with them.
Okay.
One of the distributors does a recalibration tool training, and I kind of actually one of my counterparts, Fred Altamirano, shout out to him in the California area. He showed us that, like, hey, when there's one of these distributors doing a training, let's get those guys also and see if they want to participate in our training as well. So we're kind of just helping each other out, networking with the distributors to kind of organize and see if we can get as many people in, and we don't care where you're coming from. We don't care what you're using. Mm-hmm. We just want people to, because most of our processes are going to go across all platforms of urethane. So if you learn it, it's good. It's good you can take it wherever you go too, and then spread that as well. That's what we want. Just guys doing it right out here. Cause it makes inevitably in the end, it makes our job a lot easier.
Right.
If we get, a customer complaining about a failure or some sort of adhesion issue, then it's something that we can go back and say, hey, did you follow our training and make sure you're doing it this way? So that way they have the steps in front of them to make sure they're doing it right.
Right. All right. So I got a random question for you here real quick. So say somebody watching this right now, right? Say they use whatever urethane is. Say it's not Sika, right? Say they're in Chicago, Atlanta, wherever. Can they get a Sika urethane sample, and how does that work?
Yeah, so what I've been doing recently, because since I'm kind of now nominated the representative for us online, the guys are just reaching out to me directly. So what I do is I get in touch with their rep. I find out where they're at, get their information, and get them in touch with their local rep, and kind of leave it in their hands from there. But I let them know that, hey, if you're having trouble, reach out back and we can get you, it pointed in the right direction. And in the past, I just do it directly, straight from me. Like there's guys who's hit me up for urethane hats, and whatever I got, so,
right.
But I'll ship it directly to them most of the time. But now I've been trying to just get the rep involved. So that way they start to build their relationship, cause I'm never going to see this person till like Auto Glass Week or, so it's where I'm traveling.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike's going to be the popular guy at Auto Glass Week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going too. I hope Mark signs off when I'm going, because we were having like a little race we wanted to try to promote guys to go. We want guys to go do Auto Glass, perform and do the Olympics. I don't know if they're still calling the Olympics or the competition.
Yeah, I think it's both. I think they interchange with I know it's the Repair Olympics. I think it's the Replacement Olympics or competition. But yeah, shout out to anybody competing. And if you compete, and drop a comment below, let us know you competing.
Yeah, we wanna help guys out and be there for them and help. That's what we're trying to do. So if there's guys out there who want to participate and they're thinking about it, let us reach out and let us see what we can do to help you guys out. You know, we want to try to, you know,
hey, I'll help anybody out too. I have, you know, experience of being the biggest failure, so I'm down to help.
Hey, it's experience, man. A lot of people thought about competing but never competed. So, you know, it's not, like they say, it's not a mistake if you learn from it. You know what I mean? So going to do it, hey, that's a good thing, man.
I got one of my. What's that, Chris?
I would say some people just can't make it past even that sign up right there.
Right.
Yeah, it's a big step. I had one of my customers was saying that I should compete, and he's like, "That'll be wild, man. They'd be the first rep to ever compete." I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I have to knock the dust off of it. Now it's only been a year, but I already feel like
that would be fun. That would be funny though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm still out there working, so I mean, it would definitely probably take some time though to adjust.
I drag his ass out there sometimes, though.
Yeah, we see you. I see you posting sometimes. Still working. You know,
Right.
showing these guys, say, hey, I'm not just showing you the urethane. I'm showing you how to use it.
Right.
Yeah, that's huge. And then just trying to show these companies too, you know, that there's some value to having me on board. I'm part of the team. I'm not just gonna, you know, switch you over. All right, here you go. See you later. Never gonna see you again. No, I want to be part of the team, you know,
right.
and this kind of just validates that, like, hey, I can cut lammy. We can do hot rods. We can do big equipment.
Hey, you know what's funny? Just popped in my head right now is how even on your side, you're still dealing with people who only care about bottom line price and don't care about anything else. You know, it's just like on the retail side, you got customers who only care about price, don't care about quality of work, don't care about relationship, don't care about anything else. They only care about the price. And I guess you're dealing with the same crap. So, you know.
Yeah.
You never get away from it.
There's different levels of you're right, you know, and I mean, you know, the market's kind of nuts right now too. We all know that urethane is we've taken some price increases in the last, you know, a year and a half now. So we can't predict what's happening. Corey will know, we know what we're saying here is that we can't predict what's going to happen. Usually in the past, we've known, okay, it'll plane off and that's it. But things are just so wild right now that we don't know. And I'm trying to have these guys like capture the price right now. Let's buy a pallet that's half pallet. Let's capture this price because it may not be in May. It may go up even further. So you can lock in at least this for the next, you know, 6 months to a year, however long it takes you burn through a pallet. But you know, I'm trying to show guys the road, man. But it's tough. It's tough to do it.
Yeah, a lot of people only see price, man, and sometimes, you know, having a conversation explaining the benefits of what you got to offer and why this and why that, you know, people get it, you know, but some people, all they see is price, you know what I mean? There's some people that's just stuck on price, but I think a lot of times you have a conversation with folks and you can explain the benefits and make it make sense, you know, and they understand, okay, it's a product and it's service, it's a relationship that I'm getting, you know, and the support, you know, then they understand and they willing to, you know, get what they need to get, you know, versus just seeing price and going for the cheapest thing, you know.
It's true. You got to, like you said, you got to have a conversation with them. You got to sit down, really get their attention, because then they can really see what they can save and how we can help. But until then, you know, these owners, man, they're busy. They're working owners, so they're move. It's hard to lock them down, you know. So sometimes surprising is good, but sometimes, you know, it just depends on the owner. Sometimes making an appointment is better, you know. But
right.
That's basically the challenge, is just trying to lock these guys down to get them to really see what I have to offer. And then if it's not for them, then hey, more power to them. We'll always be here, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It's
you can circle back at any time. I'm always here. You got my info, hit me up. But I'm just doing my job and due diligence to let you know that we ought to have a conversation to see if this could work. You never know if it work or won't work until you have that conversation. And so, you know, I get it. Absolutely.
And what I try to approach it with is just asking them questions first, because we may not be for them, you know.
Right.
And so I want to make sure I don't want to sign them up for something that they're just going to sit in their shop like it's like sit in their shop and collect dust. I don't want to keep walking in there and seeing that in there and going like, man, you bought it and never used it. I feel like an asshole, you know. So I want to make sure that whatever we sign you up for, you're using it, you're happy, and we can continue to grow. You know.
Yeah, you just said the best thing. It's all about fit. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we not the cheapest, we not the most expensive. Let's have a conversation to figure out if we can work out. Because hey, we might not be a compatible mix, you know, fit or whatever. So
yeah, absolutely.
So
I'm sure you got to get. I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was say on the subject of dealing with companies. What's the most challenging thing you're not told about when, you know, I guess calling or showing up to places?
You know, I was gonna say, you know, maybe how bad some of these shops are installing, you know, but I kind of say I probably expected that, you know. It's
Just didn't get the warning.
Yeah, it's pretty wild on maybe some of the size of the company, and there isn't somebody in place to kind of, you know, check up on these techs. But I'd say probably the toughest part, I wouldn't even say the toughest, but what I didn't figure would be just all paperwork and all the background stuff you got to do to make this job work. I can do it if I can handle it, no big deal. But you know, coming from like all of us, we're out there working every day, so it's tough to kind of turn that switch off to go do paperwork for an hour when I got other stuff I can do, and
right.
Production, being productive is a big thing for me. You know, I like to work with my hands, get it done, take a look at it when I'm finished and say, okay, I completed that. It looks great. But paperwork is like, you know, you don't get that satisfaction. So
yeah, because once you finish the paperwork, it's more paperwork. So you're like, damn, I just wasted an hour on paperwork. I could have been building relationships, doing something more productive. It's like, oh, I got this done, and then it's the never-ending story of more paperwork.
Yeah, it's a true story. So I'm still adjusting to that. You know, my monthly reports still, I hate them, but hey, I'll take time to get it done. You know.
Yeah. So day to day, like making the jump from being a replacement technician to now being like a sales rep and selling product, has that been a good transition for you? Like your days longer, shorter, or about the same, or how does that look?
I think my days are pretty much, I would say that maybe longer now, just because of what I consider work. Like just like I was talking about, that now work is not just outside installing and everything around auto glass. Now it's coming home, making phone calls, being on the computer, some reports, ordering stuff. So that transition has been difficult for me to recognize that, hey, being a business owner, actually, at the end of the day, I make time to do my computer work. So that I was getting used to as well. But another transition has been bad, but it is, you know, I'm used to being out there every day and doing windshields. Or, you know, replacing itself. So it's been a little bit of a transition, but I'd say the days are just different times now. Like now I don't really go see shops till I try not to go in when they're still routing and ordering parts and everything's wild at first thing in the morning, you know, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, things are still jumping off. So I like to try to pop in around 9-ish or so. And then I'm doing this computer work and or stopping into distributors too. I've been doing a lot of the Skia Sunrises too, trying to pop in early for the independent and subcontractors and more of those will call customers that there's a big market for that out here. There's not a lot of brick and mortar companies. There's very few. So I could go
say some of the longer hours, I imagine, is just from waiting until some of the shops or owners are off of work or done working.
Yeah, there's some downtime, but during the downtime, you see me, I'm on social media a lot. I try to post, you know, try to just get a lot of information out there. So staying active on that, you know, I consider that work too now. So it's nice.
No rep is on social media as much as you, Mike.
Really?
I mean, I'm friends with a bunch of them on Facebook and Instagram, and I mean, honestly, your footprint is out there more than anybody else. So
good. Yeah,
you out there, man. You out there.
That's good.
So going back to the Skia Sunrises, you do those in Arizona, or where do those be at?
Yeah, wherever I cover, which is Arizona, New Mexico, and El Paso, Texas. Now I'm slowly working out that area. I still have to do some in those areas, New Mexico and El Paso. I need to spend more time in those areas as well.
Okay.
They wanted me to spend some time here in Phoenix just because of our market shares is not where it probably should be. You know, we have a lot of room to grow here. So I've been spending a lot of time here in the
So
area.
you do them at all the distributors like Migrant, Pilkington, PGW?
Yes, all of them that'll let me, and which right now they all are. There was a
Okay.
minute there during COVID that they were, shutting them off, but
Okay.
yeah, they're all letting us now, and everything else too. We try to just do what we can. If they have trainings, if anybody from these distributors are watching, if you guys are having trainings or any type of event you want to invite us over, or and you're in my area, or I'm sure the other area guys would be the same way. Like, let us come in and demonstrate what we have and show our offering and show our support too. So we're all about doing these tabletops. Or I mean, at least
the beneficial partnership for everybody. You know what I mean? Like the distributor win, everybody win. You know what I mean? Everybody involved win. So it's nothing wrong with getting more information out there to people.
Yeah, just being able to cross the network. Some of these customers that I'm bringing in, maybe they're coming to come see me or whatever I got, or get some samples or whatever. Then now they're buying glass, or they run into somebody else, whatever, just networking. It's all about that relationship. I never, knew how important it was to build these relationships till now, of course,
Yeah.
It's huge. So
relationships are very important in any business, any industry. Relationships are very important because a lot of times it comes down to it's comparable products, but what kind of support do you get from a company? What kind of relationship do you have with them? Do they stand behind it? It's the small things that actually a lot of times lead to one company or another company getting a sale. So, shout out to you for, being there for people. Like, people reach out, like people have reached out to me and say, hey, Mike gave me your info. And go from there. Even from sales reps at Migrant that hit me up, like, hey, Mike gave me info. So just having that name and, like you say, having that resume is very extremely helpful and help you. Give you credibility when you walk in the door. Like you say, you're just not a sales rep. You someone who did this. You understand the day-to-day grind and the hustle it takes to be an auto glass technician.
Yeah, we were in the trenches. We're in the trenches together. You know what I mean? It's like I said, you gain respect pretty quick. So I'm happy to have the background that where I came from to be where I'm at now. And
Right.
And if you go back and look at our old podcast too, or the old, when we did this last time, that was where I was at too, was still in my shop, but I was looking for that next move for me. And in fact, I just watched it recently. That was about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it was pretty neat to kind of say, okay, this is coming from there and now in this position. It's pretty neat. I'm very grateful. I'm thankful for where I'm at. Thanks for shout out to Mark O'Brien and Jeff and Skia for taking me on. I probably didn't, wasn't the form or wasn't the exact type of person maybe they were looking for, maybe looks wise, so.
Hey, you might not be the best person. You might not be the right person or wrong person, but you are the person and you're killing it, man. So, keep doing what you're doing, man.
Right on. Cheers to that. I appreciate that. Kind words, because sometimes, like I like to know if I'm doing the right thing. Like, you point me in the right direction and am I doing it right? Sometimes people don't tell me like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that way or this way So I like the feedback. I want to know if the direction I'm going and how I'm going about it is the right way.
Yeah. But you said it best. Like you said earlier, man, you growing as you go. You know what I mean? And a lot of people having that mindset is key. And like everybody, like Drift, Jeff, everybody, they want to grow as they go versus like, hey, I'm where I'm at and get complacent. Not having that complacent mindset is extremely helpful for a lot of technicians, to don't get complacent to where you at. Like, see if there's more information. Like you said, you go out and you still learning stuff today. You've been in the auto glass industry forever, but you still learning, so having that mindset is key.
Yeah, it definitely is, and when I never understood that, I started to learn it more when I was owning my business right towards the end, last 5 years is when, when someone says, don't get comfortable, and I never knew what that meant really, and until I realized what they were talking about is with yourself and your business, keep pushing, keep moving forward, keep getting a little better. Now I've been trying to read more books, Recently, I went up to Michigan. We had a big meeting with our whole industry and our team.
Yeah.
And one of the guys from one of the other industries was challenging us to read more books, So he referred one. Mm-hmm. It was called "Never Split the Difference."
Okay.
Man, I think last guy's name is Voss. He's a ex FBI negotiator for kidnapping and hostage situations, and so now he applies it to sales and.
Okay.
And just the way he's like a wordsmith, and just learning a little bit. I read only 2 chapters, already learned something and how to just identify things, and it's pretty neat. So I challenge myself to read more books this year.
No, that's what's up, man.
I got a book real quick for you, Mike. So
yeah,
it's it might be good for you to recommend everyone else too. It's called Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink.
Okay.
And, just kind of it really helps you hold yourself accountable for everything, to all the small stuff, to even the big stuff. But it's a good one.
right.
Extreme ownership, you say, Drew?
Yeah, extreme ownership.
That's what's up, man. Accountability is key, man. A lot of people don't want to hold themselves accountable. A lot of people they like to give criticism, but don't take criticism and don't hold themselves accountable. So that's super key, man. To learn more about accountability and just extreme ownership. So I mentioned both of them in the comment below. But yeah, appreciate y'all for both those good book recommendations. And anybody else, if you got a book recommendation or something you've recently read, drop a comment below and let us all know what you're reading. Yeah, so that's what's up. Well, we'll be mindful of your time, Mike, and everybody else. We appreciate everybody for getting on today, joining us. Hey, knowledge is power. Appreciate the info on Skia, about the Skia Sunrises. And if people have any questions, any concerns, they can always hit you up. You in pretty much all the groups, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty much on all of them. So yeah, if anybody has any issues, no, not issues, don't call me. No, just kidding. Any questions, or if your territory, you want to know who's in your area, or if you got tech questions or anything like that, man, I'm all about it. I can do what I can. If I can't find the answer for you, I can definitely find somebody who can.
And if you're a Skia rep, drop your comment below and let us know what area you rep. You know what I mean? That way, that'd be helpful for other people to know what area you in and how they can reach out. So yeah, anybody drop a comment below. We appreciate everybody for their time, and y'all kill it this week. And it's a new month, new week, new everything, man. So I hope everybody have a good week and a good May.
Yeah, thanks again. Thanks for the invite, guys. I appreciate it, and I look forward to doing it again.
All right, no problem, man. Y'all all take care.
All right.
Have a good one. See ya.